He's Al Jazeera's senior political analyst. He's joining us from Paris. There's a lot of focus on these talks in the expectation that there might be something that comes out of this about a ceasefire. But we can't forget, of course, the negotiations are actually going on here in Doha between Hamas and representatives of Israel. Qatar is being cautious. It's put out a statement saying, no, we're just building the framework for talks. We're not even close to getting to talks yet. What's your assessment of where the ceasefire negotiations might be?
Rob, in general, the past 30 years of negotiations have been dictated between Israel and the United States and then imposed on the Palestinians or on the Arabs. So while there are negotiations in Doha, I think the power lies in Washington, as it were. And unfortunately, this is not actually a peace between two parties in the sense of Palestinians and Israelis. It is between Israelis and Americans. So the concessions are made between Netanyahu and Trump. The exchanges, the transactional relationship is happening there. And Netanyahu has proven to be even a better transactional leader than Trump. So in a sense, you could say that we're going to have to await the result of that, what is going on in closed doors in Washington, in order to understand what might transpire in Doha. Now, having said that, it's not all, good news, simply because Trump is learning on the job. He doesn't know the details and the maneuvers that Netanyahu is capable of. He's been prime minister on and off for the past 30 years, and he has an agenda. Trump wants to look like a peacemaker, while at the same time, he is enabling genocide in Gaza. He talks about tragedy, but in fact, it's a crime. It's not a tragedy. There is no earthquake in Gaza. There's a crime of genocide enabled by the United States. Words have meaning. When you say humanitarian, you mean helping people. It doesn't mean trapping people in order to shoot 100 or more of them every single day with American weapons. That's not what it means. When you say voluntary, you actually say people have free will. There is no free will in Gaza. People are bombed like there is no tomorrow in order to force them out. It's not voluntary displacement. It's ethnic cleansing of people in Gaza. Trump doesn't seem to get his mind around that. He keeps zigzagging. His positions are changing like there is no tomorrow. And that's a problem. And that's a problem for us to analyze, to predict, and so on.
Israel's Defense Minister, Israel Katz, just in the last 24 hours, put forward a controversial plan we've been reporting on to create what he calls a humanitarian city in southern Gaza. It's around the ruins of Rafah. It's already been condemned by critics as a, quote, blueprint for crimes against humanity. Given the timing of that announcement, the fact that Netanyahu is in Washington, D.C., these talks are going on in Doha, one would imagine Hamas at least are going to look at that and say, well, no, there's no way we're going to even approach any ceasefire agreement if that is going to be the end result.
Well, unfortunately, they are forced to look at them as two different things. One is short-term, one is long-term, right? One does not have to lead to the other. That's one. Two, I think the idea that presented by Katz, the Israeli so-called defense minister, is nothing new at all. It's just a lot of people are waking up to it. And in fact, he's not in on it alone. Right, the so-called Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is part and parcel of that. Even apparently the Tony Blair office is in on it as well. So it seems like Netanyahu and his ilk have been working on it with American partners for quite some time now. To remind our viewers around the world, I would say the following: the first week of the war, right, in between October 12 and October 18, Secretary Blinken at the time went to 10, at the time, I think 7 different countries, a couple of them twice. He did 10 visits in 5 days in order to convince Arabs that a humanitarian corridor should lead to ethnically cleansing Gaza, right? They rejected it. He dropped it. Netanyahu never dropped it. So this is an old idea from 21 months ago, whereby Netanyahu hopes the United States will help them in order to concentrate the Palestinians in the south with the help of the so-called Gaza Humanitarian Foundation in order then to push them out, right? So this has been happening for a while now. It's been designed. In fact, there have been, believe it or not, there have been studies, right, conducted of the type that says, you know what, if we keep the Palestinians in Gaza, they're going to cost us this much. If we kick them out, it's going to cost us $9,000 per inhabitant. Maybe it's better to kick them out, but we're going to need to, concentrate them first in a concentration camp, maybe de-radicalize them before we send them off to Egypt or Sudan or whatever. There's a human re-engineering happening there. I mean, it's really fascist in every possible way. It's illegal in every possible way. It's criminal in every possible way, and so on and so forth.
Marwan, for now, thank you very much indeed. That's Marwan Bishara, Al Jazeera's senior political analyst.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.